Talking about the Indian bowlers, they had a good walkout in Oval on Sunday. Would you say that it is an unusual Indian cricket situation this time where the bowling attack is looking far more superior than the batting?
Oh yes, because the way they restricted the New Zealand team to just 189, the bowling of Mohammed, Shami, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Umesh Yadav, all the bowlers who bowled were really very good. And which is the reason why the dismissal for 189 allowed the Indian batsmen to take their own time. They could leave a lot of deliveries alone because the conditions were such where the ball was moving, play themselves in. Virat Kohli, for example, he left so many deliveries around the off-stump, which was his weakness the last time he was here in 2014, and he settled down after that. But that happened only because the bowlers restricted New Zealand to 189. If New Zealand had got to 260, 280, then Virat wouldn't have been able to leave all those deliveries and get a very useful innings out in the middle. 52 not out, I think that will boost his confidence, and he's got to thank the bowlers for allowing him to do that.
Well, India is still to bowl in the second practice game. The Indian lineup has Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Shami, Umesh, Bumrah and Pandya. Would you say a good headache for Captain Virat Kohli?
Very good attack. He's got an absolutely top-class attack. I think these four bowlers are exceptional. I mean, the way they have bowled, and I think they're bringing all the experience that they got recently in the IPL, bowling in the death overs particularly. All these bowlers are outstanding in the death overs. Bhuvneshwar Kumar with his Yorkers, Bumrah with his Yorkers, Umesh Yadav with his change of pace. They were all exceptional. And I think Mohammed Shami, of course, didn't play a lot of matches, but the way he bowled at the Oval against New Zealand, that really augurs well. So I think these four bowlers, and Ashwin will certainly and Jadeja, I think that will probably be the way to go.
Mr. Gavaskar, Bhuvneshwar Kumar came in as a new ball bowler, but now he seems to have worked on his pace while retaining his swing and is a lethal death over bowler as well. His transition, you would say, is another reason for India to be hopeful?
Yes, I mean, he's been doing that for the last couple of seasons. If you saw not the just concluded IPL, but the previous year, where he bowled those Yorkers in the death overs, and it just got better and better because his confidence has grown from having bowled the way he did that then he showed that when he played the one-day internationals in the home season last year. So yes, I think you could say that he and Bumrah are probably the best death over bowlers in the world.
Right. Talking about Captain Virat Kohli, he made a half century in the last match but hasn't batted in this game. Given his record in English conditions, he must be desperate to change that.
Well, I think we mustn't forget the fact that, what he didn't do well the last time he was in England was in test matches. This is not a test series, this is a 50-over series. So it's going to be completely different. In the 50-over series, you have less time to play yourself in. You're constantly hoping that the bowlers bowl the opposition out for not too many. So then you get the time to play yourself in. And he used that time very well. And, as he settled in, he was looking like the Virat Kohli that we know. And I think we've got to be very hopeful that same kind of form will carry on for the rest of the tournament.
Well, India versus Pakistan will be the first match for India in the tournament. Would you say for the first time it won't be Indian batting versus Pakistan bowling, but an Indian team in form versus a relatively unknown, untested Pakistani side?
Yes, I think India certainly all-round strength with its batting, with its bowling, with its fielding is a different team than say in the last Champions Trophy. In the last Champions Trophy, I do not remember the Indian bowlers, giving you the same kind of feeling. Now with this Indian bowling attack, you feel that even if you're defending something like 150, you feel that this Indian bowling attack will help you to defend 150. And that's a completely different scenario because every time India is dependent on its batsmen. But now I think its bowlers are showing that they are a force to reckon with as well.
Mr. Gavaskar, away from the field, the BCCI threw in a surprise by announcing a vacancy for the Indian coach's job. However, no applications have come in as yet. Would you say people do not want to apply because of Kumble's terrific record, or the coaches aren't really available right now?
Well, with Anil Kumble's success, or shall we say the Indian cricket team's success over the last season at home, I don't think there'll be too many who think that he will not get the job. So I guess maybe that's the reason why a lot of people are not even bothering to apply, and maybe a lot of them are not interested. So so that's the way it is. I don't really see a change coming as far as the coaching job is concerned.
Right. In the middle of a big tournament like this, when controversies happen and stories of divide are planted in the media, what happens to the morale of the team?
Well, you know, that is always the situation with Indian cricket when there are off days, when there is no cricket played, because then stories have to be put. The papers and the media has to have stories which you know they need to fill their airtime with, or they need to fill the print pages with, and therefore all these stories always come. I think one of the things that the Indian cricketers generally dread are the off days. Because on the off days, they know they'll be, because there's no cricket, you don't have to say somebody batted well, somebody bowled well, or somebody dropped a catch. These kind of stories are always par for the course. I think the Indian team perhaps, worries more about these off days than what happens on the field, because they know that on an off day, some story, some rumor, some kite flying certainly takes place.
Mr. Gavaskar, I have to ask this. Well, the tricolour has been following the Indian cricket team all over. Wherever India plays today, seems to be home, away from home, be it England, South Africa, Australia. That must play a huge part in the team's title defence, isn't it?
Yes. So many Indians settled all over the world, and particularly in cricket playing countries, that Indians are never short of backing, Indians are never short of support. Indians are never short of, if there are vegetarians in the team, Indians are never short. The Indian team is never short of, good vegetarian food. So yes, I think India is lucky in that aspect, and I think the players are indeed very mindful, very grateful for that. Although it might not always be possible to thank everybody personally because of this anti-corruption situation, they are very wary of meeting new people, which can be misunderstood. Unfortunately, it is misunderstood as if they are aloof and they are arrogant. They are not arrogant, they are not aloof, because I've spent time with these guys. But the anti-corruption situation is such that they are so careful about meeting new people, having photographs taken with new people, and that sometimes sends a wrong message. But these boys are really a lovely bunch of boys.